Welcome back to Chicago, where the temperature continues to rise and the stars continue to hit the course. Let's have a look at the men's start list. For Brownlee Racing, down there, Alex Yee, the big name, the Olympic champion, the winner last time out, he leads. Let's have a look at Stars and Stripes. Vasco Vilasa, well, he was eliminated for the very first time last time, so he'll want to come back from that. Leo Bergier joins Podium Racing, and for Crown Racing, Vincent Lewis will be hoping to go better than his top 5 result. He's with Annie Emerson.
Yeah, this course I think suits me a bit better. It's a pontoon start and not a beach start, and also the race a bit more technical and narrow. So yeah, I'll play my cards. And now, you know, I blew out the cobweb a bit last weekend, so yeah, I'm ready. I think my speed is still there. I think it's the same as I was in 18, 19, and I can see in the splits in the races that I'm as fast as I was almost 10 years ago. But these kids, they're just too fast now. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have to be smart, be tactical, try to beat them, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. But for sure, I'm the oldest on the start list, but hopefully I'll be on the top of another podium.
Good luck, Vince.
Thank you.
Into the water they go, these old sparring partners, all 16 of them who have done this many, many times before and know exactly what it takes to get out quick, stay in front, and it looks like Matt Hauser of Podium Racing on the left-hand side is leading.
Hauser leading the way, pushing the pace on. I think there's team tactics going on with Crown Racing, with Stapley being asked to stay behind with Vincent Louis.
The fastest swim, which is usually the first swim, always the first swim, is worth 4 points for the team, whoever gets out of the water first. So these two are looking to take that one, and they head up. Hauser slightly ahead, and they're going to head up a very steep ramp. McQueen, and they're pushing and shoving to try and get up there, and I think it was Hauser just. And there was a few elbows thrown, wasn't there? Wow.
Well, there was a few elbows going on there from Hauser, and Chase McQueen can't find his bike. He's ran straight past it.
What happens when you get elbowed by Matt Hauser, biggest athlete in terms of stature out there, and now it's about who gets the short shoot, and it is going to be Hauser and Podium Racing, and Tim Dodd loves it, doesn't he? So now the question is, we've got to work together to try and gap Hayden Wild, who's 12 seconds in arrears, and Alex Yee, who's 15 seconds back after the swim. We need strong swims. Let's work together, take the 2 fastest guys out of the race as much as we can, put as much time into them as we possibly can, as Hayden Wild is now tacked on, you can see there, in the back of this front group. And that group getting bigger as Dorian Connick's 2023 world champion, reigning world champion, leads a group that has a lot of white from Stars and Stripes and Podium. At the front, we have Vincent Lewis, who wants to take the second short shoot, which means he needs to cross the mount line, so it's after transition. Wants to give Crown Racing a short shoot, and he wants to be handed that short shoot by Chris McCormack too, as he gets a little shower of the water. It's about taking that transition, but it's going to be Vilasa, is it? It is a great transition from Vasco Vilasa, and Stars and Stripes picks up short shoot number 2. And you can see Wild there on the left, tucking in behind his teammate Vincent Lewis, and Vetla Thorne's trying to become a factor in this race as well. There is Yee leading Baxter, then Stapley, then McQueen, and then Bentley. And to the right of your screen, making the turn at the top, Hugo Milner, who'll be trying to take those run points for the fastest run of the day now. And Hayden Wild has gone for the goggles on while he's still got at least 500 metres to go.
I think there's still a lot to come in this race, I really do. The athletes were only just over 15 minutes in, and they're already looking a little bit hot and tired, but Hayden Wild, he wasn't happy after last weekend, was it? With
no.
Alex Yee's little bit of showboating as he came across the line. We enjoyed it, but he didn't.
Hayden Wild, he knows that he wants to make sure that these athletes have to swim around him. And Crown Racing get the short shoot as they all head down what is a very steep ramp, and straight past the photographer, takes the left-hand turn and jumps off the left, one of the Stars and Stripes athletes.
Oh, that was brilliant.
And Max Stapley has a 5-second penalty because, and I just heard no cap, which is not, it's not Gen Z slang, because I'm hearing that's what the kids are saying. I have no idea what it means, but it's because he doesn't have a swim cap on. There is Vincent Lewis at the front, and the man who denied him a Paris Olympic spot, Dorian Connick's, just behind. little bit of controversy around that one because Connings was coming back from a arm injury that he sustained in a crash in the lead up to Paris. He was selected anyway, and Lewis comes out first, Connings second. So he'll do the last run without any goggles unless he can pick it up from the box. And Bergier third. So the three Frenchmen out the front. The 2020 world champion in red, the 2023 world champion in Connings in white, and then the 2022 world champion in Bergier, the three Frenchmen in the top four as they came out onto the bike. Three podium athletes. Then the sole red kit of Vincent Lewis. Then you've got three athletes from Stars and Stripes in Ryder, Hellwig and Valasa. And at the back, Brownlee Racing remain, and it's 11 seconds.
Yeah, it's a difficult day, isn't it?
Between Hauser at the back of this group and Yi at the front of the next.
Yeah, but he's a long way down the road now. And honestly, you wouldn't put anything past Alex Yi, the Olympic champion. But I think this is going to be a tough day for him because looking back down the road, I can't even see him yet. And the problem being is that Alex Yi is, we can just see now.
He's on his own.
Yeah, he's on his own. He's had to drop his two teammates because he's stronger than they are. Let's have a look at our timing. Let's see where he is.
22 seconds back from the leader is Alex Yi, and he is not making that time. Meanwhile, Hayden Wild, his main rival, is able to sit at the back, take a drink, know that all of his athletes are there. There's some difficult surfaces. There's a grate in the ground, and there's a couple of steps. And it's not easy to negotiate, and I'm hearing that Tim Hellwig, let's have a look. So Tim Hellwig, he's in the white, he's come off there, you can see him hit the hay bale, and get back up, get back on his bike, and get back into the group. That is outrageous to be able to take a taste of the concrete and then get back up and remain in the group. We're getting close towards the business end now. And now it's about making sure you execute a really solid transition. Shoes on so hard when the heart rate is so high. And all those athletes from Stars and Stripes having a good one. Valasa with another excellent transition. And he leads out on this run from Tim Hellwig.
You've got to take your hat off to Alex Yi, haven't you? He absolutely never gives up. Never gives up, honestly. And there I was saying he's not coming back into this race. Well, that's what we all said in Paris, wasn't it?
And now it's gone out to 9 seconds. So it's come into 9 seconds. So in that first lap of the run, Alex Yi has put the burners on, taking it from 18 or more seconds down to 9 seconds.
Wild looks so composed and together. He loves the heat, no problem with it. It's the last swim, the last leg, a swim, a bike, a run to go, and these athletes out the front really starting to push the pace on. They will be aware that Yi has brought himself a little bit back into this race. He's still a good 15 seconds down on the back end of the lead group, but he does have company. He has Max Stapley just behind him. Seth Ryder is up there as well with Alex Yi.
And at the front, Podium Racing continuing to be so strong in the water. Kenji Nina's having a race. He is having a race, the Japanese athlete.
It looks to me like we're going to see a handful more athletes in this lead pack. Kenji Nina doing a really good job here. Leo Berger is up there. Dorian Konitz dropped down a little bit.
Hauser second out of the water. Nina out the first. Then it goes Bergier, then Lewis, then Connings with no goggles on. Great transition from the Japanese athlete from Podium Racing. And he finds himself with a couple of seconds advantage as he heads out onto the final bike. And it looks like the top 6 positions are still all Crown Racing and Podium Racing at the front.
Konitz, who could have been a bit of a threat, he's got a 5-second penalty. Hauser's got a 5-second penalty. 2 athletes that perhaps could have challenged him, but it's playing into Wild's hands here in Chicago.
Valasa back at the front, head down, pushing hard. He's one of the smaller athletes, so a little bit less wind resistance. Nina sitting in on him, and just know the pace is on when it's strung out single file. Wild about 5th, 6th wheel. A Hauser there as well. Any of these athletes could win it, and all of them have won in big races and performed on the bigger stage, and now it is just 1.6 kilometres to go, and Nina nearly lost his bike there, managed to pull it back. We've seen Velasa have that problem before, and he's the first out of transition again. So Vasco Velasa, if he does win, it's because of many things, but his transitions have been excellent. Now Hauser weighs 5, and next to him, Konix weighs 5, and they're going to have to try and run it back, but there's a gap between Wild, Velasa and the rest, and he's had time to put the cap on as well. Vasco Velasa has been gapped. Leo Bergier is looking to swallow up second position. Matt Hauser is fighting along in 4th. And meanwhile, onto the black carpet, to the cheers of the crowd, the Kiwi, Hayden Wild, denied at the death in Boston, turns it around in big style here in Chicago, will lead the championship, crowd does it again, and Hayden Wild gets one back. Bergier comes in second, Velasa holds on for the podium, and just as they did Stars and Stripes in the women's with Taylor Spivey, a 3rd place for the Americans on home soil.
Yeah, no, super stoked to be finally back on top. It's been a long time. Yeah, I went into the race and we talked with the team, and I just had to completely do what I don't do, which I actually hated. Yeah, that was the tactic. I absolutely actually hated racing because it's not me. So I know we had to get the big points. It was a hot day. I was a little bit scared coming in today just because of how Paris went in the heat, so happy.
The Falcon, Hayden Wild, hits back in Chicago, turns second into first, just as Georgia Taylor Brown did for Crown Racing in the women's race. But Wild has a 6-point advantage. Tim Helwig on debut finishes in another top 5 result, and he's equal second with Alex Yee after he's dropped all the way back to the back end of the top 10. Konix, Hauser, Nina and Bergier put 4 podium athletes in the top 8. Sergio Baxter fought all day but had a tough result, and Vasco Velasa goes from eliminated to podium. After all that fantastic effort from the podium men has turned their 82 points into 83. They finish on 165, 5 points clear then of Crown Racing with another fantastic performance and 2 wins. Brownlee Racing struggled out there, particularly in the men's. They drop back to 130, and Stars and Stripes has a better showing at home. They are on 109. So that is how it stands heading into London, one of the fantastic races on our calendar. That happens in a fortnight's time. We hope you've enjoyed the racing here in Chicago. From Annie Emerson, Adam Leach and myself, it is bye for now.